Rescue 3, you probably do one full arrest.
BD, go ahead, rescue.
You're riding into a
Request
facility.
the orders.
5 minutes.
Copy. See you on arrival.
Shock advised.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of After the Encode. Caden, welcome back to Florida.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Want to tell everyone where you were?
I was in Indianapolis.
He left me at home.
Yeah. I didn't leave you. You
I
just
wasn't
didn't come.
invited.
Yeah, you were. You just couldn't come.
Well, anyways.
And you don't like Indianapolis anyways.
Well, hey now. I love Indianapolis. If anyone from Indianapolis is watching.
Oh, yeah. Very high chances that people from Indianapolis are watching this
I
right
love
now.
your state so much.
Tori hates Indianapolis.
I've just had bad experiences at Indianapolis. When we went last year for FDIC, okay, explain this to me. Whenever I go on a competition, we stay in the literal worst houses. Like last year, this house, if you still have a video, we're going to have to put it up. This house had a demonic basement, like tunnel into, I don't even know, catacombs? I'm not sure what it was.
Who's sleeping down here? Oh, this Airbnb is sick.
Absolutely not going down there. What's that daisy wall?
It's really quaint. Wow, it's very much like 2023 chic. Yeah,
There was blood on the sheets. We had to call the Airbnb host. They dropped off new sheets from Dollar General.
Yeah, from Dollar General. Imagine how sheets from Dollar General feel.
Imagine how sheets with blood stains
like
on them
plastic.
are. It was
There's
it was
bullet
awful.
holes in the walls.
bullet holes in the walls. They go this year, stay at a log cabin on a lake with a petting zoo. Tell them about it.
Yeah, it was like, you know, Lincoln Logs. Did you ever used to play with
Yeah.
those? Yeah, it looked like a Lincoln log. Lincoln log. Yeah, it looked like a Lincoln log. I haven't said Lincoln Logs in like 15 years.
Well, now you've said it about 10 times, so you should be good.
So, yeah, Lincoln Log cabin, like 3 floors to it, bunch of rooms, pool table. There was a lake, paddle boards,
There was a boat. I saw them all out on little romantic boat strolls.
paddle boats. We did have a date. And there was a petting zoo
That's insane.
with goats and horses and bunnies.
Goats being my favorite animals. I got blood on the sheets. You get a petting farm.
You put the blood on the
No,
sheets?
I'm saying I received blood on the sheets and you received a petting farm.
Petting farm?
Wait, what's it called?
Yeah, the petting zoo.
Petting farm.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, how was FDIC the actual competition part? What does FDIC stand for?
Like
Come on, Mr. Firefighter. What does it stand for?
fire department
Mm-hmm.
international conference.
Sure.
I hope that's right.
How was it?
It sucked. I hate it every
Really?
year. Yeah.
How'd you guys do?
We did okay. We didn't really do that great actually. We didn't win.
I saw an interesting video.
Of
You were up to some shenanigans on the course.
oh yeah. So well, I'll just preface this with I came off shift. I left shift at like 6:45 a.m. Go over, pick up my friend. We go to the airport and we fly out. It's like a 2.5 hour flight, nothing but middle seats open. So we're all crammed. We land and the people on the course are like calling us saying like, hey, where are you at? And we're like, well, we just landed. And they're like, do not waste any time getting to the course. So the competition started at 8 and we didn't even fly out until like 11:30.
Yeah.
So by the time we got there, we literally pulled up to the course. I stepped out of the vehicle and they're like, Caden, you're racing literally next. Like you have to go get gear on right now.
No warm up, no stretching,
No warm
no
up,
prep.
nothing. And it's not an excuse. I just suck at the combat challenge, but it just
true.
makes it hurt so much more.
Yeah.
So I just like ran over and they're like, by the way, you're racing yourself too. I was like, cool. I was the second to last race. And then Brian raced like right after me.
We haven't talked about this yet, and it's still on the list of like one of these episodes. We'll talk about what the the fire challenge. Wait, what do they call it now?
Firefighter challenge.
Firefighter
or
challenge.
Firefighter league.
They've changed the names a couple times. What actually it is, but when he says he raced by himself, normally there's 2 sides. You run on the red side or the blue side, and you race against somebody. He
Yeah.
didn't go against anyone. It was just him on the course.
Yeah. So
Which just sucks for like motivation, trying to beat the person
I
next to
blew
you.
it. Plus, I obviously haven't been training. It's super early in the season. So there's a part of the course. It's called the Kaiser sled. Basically, it's like a 90-pound steel I-beam. You hit it with a hammer. You got to hit it behind you. Usually, like, you can hit it like 4 hits. Well, they're supposed to clean it after each person goes, and they haven't been cleaning it. I guess the person designed the Kaiser was like, I didn't design it for you guys to clean and put lube on it.
He wants it to be harder.
Yeah, he wants it to be harder, which is, fine, but like, tell us and we'll train for it.
One thing about the combat challenge before we go over like every single thing about it on a different episode is that it's all done for time, for speed. Everything is about how fast you do things, which is going to play a factor into the fact what this Dumbo decided to do on one of his races.
So what I talked about was I did an individual race. So I do the entire course by myself. It's really miserable. There's a category. It's called tandems. So instead of doing the entire course, you do it with a partner. Someone does the first half of the course. Someone does the last half of the course. Still for time. So basically, the Kaiser sled is like in the middle of the course. Like basically, the first guy could do it or the second guy could do it. Doesn't really matter. That's usually you have a baton. That's when you kind of pass the baton at that part. Mm-hmm. So we were like, well, I was like, I don't want to do the Kaiser. That thing sucks. And my partner was like, well, I don't want to do it. So what we did was when I came down, so I did the first half of the course. When I came down the tower right before the Kaiser, we did a rock, paper, scissors to see who had to do the Kaiser.
So obnoxious because everybody else is like racing for time, trying to be so fast, and they know that they're fast enough. They're like, let's take a second and stop and just do a little rock, paper, scissors.
The thing, I started panicking because we both threw scissors. And I was like, oh my God, what if it's like 4 of us throwing the same thing? Like, we're wasting time now. I won, so I didn't have to do the Kaiser. They loved it though. Everyone was freaking out.
Also, these are all recorded. It's on Facebook Live.
Yeah,
there's videos.
Yeah,
so I'm watching and I'm like, what is he doing?
The referee's like, I'm going to give you a 5-second penalty. I was like, why? And he's like, because what the hell was that?
Did he give you a 5-second penalty?
No.
That's funny. And also the people they were racing against was people on their same team. So they also did
They also did
so
too,
all 4 of them stopped dead in the course and start doing rock, paper, scissors. It was
hilarious.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a good time. That was fun.
Well,
glad to be back in Florida.
My only updates from the time you were gone was I had a terrible 2 weeks. I know you weren't gone for 2 weeks, but the 2 weeks since the last podcast, I continued to be sick. I was pretty much out for a whole week from work, just sick. And then my first day back at work, I'm leaving work and I get a panicked phone call from my sister that my nephew was attacked by a dog. And I told them I was going to talk about this on the podcast. But Caden was still here at this time. But my nephew got attacked by a dog and was rushed to the emergency room, ended up being admitted overnight, had to go to the OR the next day with the plastic surgeon to get all of the lacerations from the dog bite repaired.
He was bit in the face.
It was his face, yeah.
Yeah, he got bit in his face.
Yeah, all over his face, like pretty significantly. So, but it didn't end there because then he gets sent home the next day. And the day after that, my sister FaceTimes me in the middle of the night because he's coughing, wheezing. Caden is still here at this point. He's sleeping because he has work in the morning and I'm getting FaceTime. And he's just like, what is going on? And so he ended up coming to my hospital the next time around. We drove a little bit farther to bring him to my hospital and he was seen in the ER there and came back having 3 different viruses. So I now have confirmed, because on the last episode, I actually talked about how I think he was the one who got me sick. Confirmed. He had 3 different viruses all at one time. And then, so within 48 hours of getting bit by a dog, he's now getting admitted to a pediatric hospital to be on like every 3-hour breathing treatments and steroids. So the poor kid could not catch a break. And he was in the hospital for another 2 days and then finally got sent home. So I feel like
he's better now, though.
He's better now. He's doing much better, but that did take up a bulk of the time. And my heart just broke for him. He was going through so much. It was
poor guy.
It was a lot.
He still likes dogs, though.
Yeah, he does. Actually, funnily enough, is that a word? Funnily?
Nope.
Oh, well, when we were in the hospital, one of the nurses was bringing him like toys and stuff to play with, and she brought in a book. And I'm assuming she didn't understand the irony in it, but I thought it was really funny. And the book said, "Go dog, go." And it was a dog driving a car on the front of the book. And the whole book was about this dog. And I was just looking at the book and looking at my nephew. And I was just like, I don't think she put those 2 pieces together. No. But he still loves dogs. He's not afraid of them, thankfully. And for those of you who are wondering, no, the dog did not get put down. They are just separated. So, I have one thing from work. I ended up on the adult side the other day, helping out against my will. Not really. I went over there because they needed the help, but that place is just crazy. I stick to my pediatric patients because what the hell? It is It's insane. I was trying my best to help without knowing like where things were, the normal standing orders, how they do things on that side of the ER. So I was doing like miscellaneous items. And one of the patients who was very, very unwell, super unstable, crashing, it was a whole situation. I was trying to help. So I was doing the EKG. So I'm like leaning across the bed, doing the EKG. Well, I come to the ER the next day and I walk through the adult ER on the way to my ER. And they're like, hey, Tori. And I'm like, hey. And they're like, did anyone tell you? And I was like, tell me what? And they're like, oh, that patient that you were helping with yesterday has C. diff. And I was like,
Yeah, Tori thought that she got the viruses from Owen, but she really just got C. diff from one of the patients.
if you don't know what C. diff is, I'm jealous of you. Keep it that way. You don't want to know what C. diff is, what it smells like. You don't want to know.
It's really gross.
So not that pediatric patients don't get C. diff, but getting it from an adult. Oh, I was like, if I get C. diff, I am never coming over here and helping you guys again.
Yeah, you're never coming over near me.
Do you have any work updates?
Work.
It's work.
It's work.
Caden's
Work
go-to response.
Work be working. Let me rack my brain and see if there's anything important that
I know I
anyone
have like
cares
a bunch
about.
of miscellaneous things, but nobody cares to hear any of those. We had another cardiac arrest, another kid. Let me just do a little PSA because summer is right around the corner. Everyone with kids, let's use some precautions around any bodies of water. Okay. It's summer. It's Florida. I don't know if anyone listening lives in Florida. There is an increase in the number of drownings that have been coming in. So everyone just pay close attention to your kiddos around water.
You're aware of what face sheets are? Do you have to give firefighters face sheets ever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
The registration does it. We don't typically.
Explain what a face sheet is. You're probably better than
a face sheet is just like a quick biography about the person. It's their age, their name, their birthday, their account number, their address, their phone number. In the pediatric world, their parents' name and phone number. It's just like a contact sheet, essentially. It has all their information.
Right. So at work, there was, this didn't happen to me, but it's happened on a different shift. Basically, they ran a call at a facility, and I don't know if it was a nursing home or assisted living or whatever, but when we're at these facilities, we'll ask, like, do you have any info on the patients? Mm-hmm. Sometimes the patients can answer questions, whatever. So usually I go and grab like a face sheet. So they were like, you have a face sheet on them. So they come back with a big blown up picture.
No.
I swear to God, I don't make this up. A big blown up picture of this patient, and the patient's doing like a soft smile. And they hand it to the crew, and they were like, what is this? Of course, they took it with them.
Of course. You need to keep that and hang it up in the station.
It was a huge blown up picture of the patient's face, just kind of giving like a soft smile.
Wait, so the person that gave this to them, did they seem confused when they asked for the face sheet? Did they have this like prepped and ready, or did they go and print this just for them?
I don't know. It looked like a old Facebook profile picture of a patient. Yeah, it was just like a little soft smile.
Did they end up getting the real face sheet after that?
I have no idea.
Or they were just like, thank you.
I don't know.
That's
I think
perfect.
They just took it and they're like, yep, perfect. Exactly what we needed. Sometimes I get surprised when I hear a nurse talk about our podcast.
Did that happen?
Sometimes it does.
Explain. Okay.
No, they want to give suggestions for 911.
Oh, they should. Send it in.
Yeah.
I have an email on the Instagram.
I'd like to know what the nurses think if they do watch this podcast and then see me like giving patient turnover, because I probably don't look nice.
Well, here's the thing about Caden. He doesn't look nice ever. Like, we went to the gym
I have like
together.
a RBF, I think, always.
He has, I don't know. No, I just think you don't like to be working.
That's probably
but
true
also,
too.
Like, we went to the gym together the other night, and most of the time I won't go to the gym with Caden, A, because he works out for 2.5 hours and I do not, and B, because he looks pissed the entire time.
I'm
Caden
going through
literally
demons
stalks
each
around
set.
around the ER, stalks around the gym like
Kinda,
this.
Yeah.
Do this workout here. Like, he looks like he's angry or just like fed up. And every time I'm like, do you not want to be working out with me? But then I hear that this is just how he is. And other people have even like approached him and told him the way that he looks when he's exercising just looks. Actually, one time, where were we? Australia. We were at a gym in Australia before the calendar shoot. And this guy came up to us and was like, I just wish you guys would smile. And we were just kind of like, well, men say this to women. And don't ever say that to a woman. But he came up to both of us and was like, you guys just look like upset or something. We started like smiling and talking to him, and he's like, there's those beautiful smiles. And even he was like, some random dude in Australia was like, you guys look pissed off while you exercise.
Yeah. So, well, also, if I'm giving you a patient at like 3 a.m. and I haven't slept. Pretty.
Don't be that person. You should be the person that's bringing the energy and the good vibes. Nobody wants to be there. They don't want the patient. You don't want to be bringing the patient, but you can still make it a good time.
At 3 a.m.?
Yeah. They're awake and working the whole night. Bring some energy.
Yeah, but they also slept all before.
Bring
I'm
some
up for
energy.
24 hours. You guys slept. If you're working the night shift, you just sleep all day.
Bring some positive vibes.
The only other comments I get from the nurses, this is actually relevant to this podcast, is they would come after me for my encodes.
Really?
Yes.
What did they say?
They said that I sound like Eeyore when I'm encoding, which I would assume would sound something like
Caden, give us an encode. Yeah, go ahead.
Rescue 3 is responding to your facility with a 64-year-old female patient. Chief complained of neck pain times 3 days. Vitals are stable. To your facility in approximately 3 minutes.
Yeah, you sound like you hate
Do you
your
have
life.
any questions or orders? But like, I feel like I sound better than that when I
Here's
do
the
it.
difference. The alternative, most of us, like in the ER, when we get an encode, we can tell based off somebody's voice what type of encode it's going to be. If it's something we need to pay attention to, if they hate their life on whatever call they're on, or if it's something like in the middle. You can normally tell immediately when they go in and they say rescue 3 to whatever hospital or whatever it is that you guys say. We can normally tell. Or some people are just super chipper and they're like, oh, rescue 3 on the way to your facility. And we're like, take it down, buddy.
Take it down a notch. Yeah. They're just like, you seem like the kind of person who would encode if like there was someone who got shot 100 times and just be like, rescue 3s, we're at your facility, 200 gunshot wounds to the chest.
I guess it's not the worst though. You're staying calm.
Yeah, I just don't get too excited about it. But I am like nicer in person, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
To be determined.
Maybe not.
So they want to send us 911s. If you want to send us a 911, send it to the email, DM me, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh, this one firefighter brought me some patient, didn't do anything on it. His
It's him.
encode sounded like Eeyore.
It's Caden.
Yeah, they're just
The
going to
story is
personally
Caden.
attack me.
Welcome to the After the Encode Travel Award Ceremony with your host, Tori Wilson, and my assistant, Caden Wilson.
I'm not your assistant. I am the host. You're the co-host.
Okay, guys, we're going to rank some of the places we've traveled and do a best of, a little award ceremony. Obviously, we haven't been a million places. Some people have been a lot more than us, but we're going to do this based off of 11 countries / continents that we've been to. So the 11 that we are included in this is going to be Iceland, Thailand, New Zealand, Africa, Australia, Italy, Ireland, Antigua, Paris, France, Cuba, and Mexico. Let's get into it.
Best sunsets.
Antigua, hands down.
Why?
What do you have?
Antigua.
Antigua.
Mhm.
Well, when we went to Antigua on our honeymoon. We had one of the best sunsets I've ever seen in my life. I don't know that I'll ever see a sunset better than that one.
Yeah, it was
And
like basically like the whole sky was
That's
on
what
fire.
Literally what I was about to say. The
Yeah.
entire sky was on fire. It was like, it was even raining before this sunset and everyone kind of cleared out from the pool and the beach. So it was just us and we set the GoPro up and we were just hanging out on the beach and it was insane. I
Yeah.
don't think it can ever be topped. Best beach and ocean.
I have Australia.
Australia.
Mhm.
I have two. I have a little bit of both. So for best beach and ocean, I also have Australia for a couple different reasons though. I feel like the sun just feels different in Australia. Like when you're laying on the beach of Australia, the way the sun feels on your skin is just different than any other country.
Yeah.
It makes you like, first off, it gives you like a literal golden tan.
Mhm.
And then also the beaches that we went to, like Bondi Beach and just some of the random ones on the Gold Coast.
There's
and
super cool
it was
beaches.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Not including the beaches when you get up to like Cairns because there's
There's
is it crocodiles?
yeah, there's crocodiles. You don't swim at those beaches.
No, there's crocodiles on
but
the
the
beaches.
Gold Coast beaches, super nice.
Yeah, and swimming in the ocean. Crocodiles swim in the ocean, by the
Mhm.
way. And then also there's what's it called?
With
Whit
Sundays.
Sundays, which we didn't get to go to. Hopefully one day when we go back, we'll get to go to, and that place just looks unreal.
Yeah.
And then obviously we snorkeled at the
Great Barrier
Great
Reef.
Barrier Reef, and we had a rocky weather day, but it was still like beautiful.
Yeah, very good snorkeling.
My runner-up is going to be Thailand, and mainly because of not so much the beaches that we went to, but the places like the smaller islands that we went to on the longtail boat.
Mhm.
There was some beaches and the way that the water, like just crystal blue water, beautiful
Yeah, we
beach
did
sands.
diving there too, and it was really,
Yeah,
really
we did a lot of
nice.
snorkeling. We did a lot of snorkeling
We
in
had a
Thailand.
Good day there
And it
too
was
when we did that.
That was my birthday,
Mhm.
and it was amazing. Next up, best food.
Italy.
You're gonna have. I knew you were gonna have Italy. I was just about to say that. Italy's my number 2. I have Thailand number 1.
Yeah, you like your pad thai?
I am obsessed with pad thai. I think it's because I didn't ever experience it until like a year ago. So now it's like my current hyperfixation. But the pad thai is not the only reason I picked Thailand. I just felt like the ingredients and like everything about the food in Thailand made me feel amazing.
It's definitely not super processed.
No, here in America, I have such a hard time with certain foods and bloating and nausea and all of the stomach things. But in Thailand, it was like that completely went away and I felt amazing. And I don't think I've ever felt that in any other country. Like I truly felt so good. I could eat a million meals a day, feel great. Not to mention the food was so cheap. We could eat like hundreds of times a day.
Yeah.
The fruit in Thailand.
Yeah.
I don't know that
the
I've ever
mango
had.
is actually the best mango I've ever had.
I've never had fruit that good and that fresh. My nail lady was actually the other day showing me different fruits and she was like, did you try this one in Thailand? Did you try this one in Thailand? And I was like, I have no idea. Probably. Like, I was like, I don't even know the names. I was just shoveling anything I could.
I felt horrible in Italy, but
yeah, that's the thing. Italy,
I love pizza. So
the pizza, the pasta, like some of the best meals I've had, but I just felt so
But the pizza
bloated.
definitely isn't like as loaded down as the pizza here.
It's a different
and it's like
type of
personal
pizza.
pizzas too.
And they're not like greasy either.
So
They're very
definitely
fresh.
felt better than normally when I eat pizza.
Wait, so you're saying Iceland's not your favorite food?
Oh God.
If I had to pick a country for worst food, I'm so sorry. It's got to be Iceland. There's just nothing.
All we did was
to
eat
it.
like freaking hot dogs.
That was partially
and
our own fault.
Cereal.
We ate like
and-
ramen and because we were camping, we did like a camping trip in Iceland. But even like
It's just not a
we
foodie place.
But we ate fermented shark.
Yeah, well, that's
in
not meant to be good.
But that's like
Fermented
their pride.
shark is literally so gross.
But
like,
it does
I've
a
had
lot for your body.
Scorpions and I've had snails, and fermented shark is like you can't eat it.
But
Yeah,
they in
it's
Iceland
rough.
they use it as like hangover cures. If you're sick, like it has a bunch of antioxidants in it. It's supposed to do amazing things for you. But I couldn't imagine being hungover and eating the fermented shark.
No shot.
Oh, nope. I'll stick to my pad thai in Thailand. Best activity.
Is it best activity or best activities?
Okay, best activities then.
Best place for activities, I have Thailand.
Why?
Because of the elephant sanctuary,
Yeah, that's
the diving, the longtail boats.
temples.
Yeah, the temples.
Yeah, there is a lot to do in Thailand. I picked New Zealand. Well, okay, truthfully, I picked Africa, but that's when I thought it was one activity. I was like, oh, best activity, overall activity would be safari.
Safari was
Like
a good activity.
safari
yeah.
is, unbeatable. It's insane to be out there in the nature with all the animals. But as far as multiple activities or things that we've done, I would probably pick New Zealand because of the bungee jumping.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with bungee jumping. We did a bungee jump from a cable car over a like valley between two mountains, and it was
Like
100.
over like a stream.
Yeah, over a stream. It was a 138-meter jump.
Mhm.
I don't know how many feet that is.
A lot.
A lot, but I was obsessed. I came back up from it, and I was like, I'll do that 10 more times. I would.
They made me go first, which
I
really
was
freaked me
mad
out.
about that. I wanted to go first. I
Yeah.
specifically
They're
said
like,
I
all
wanted
right,
to go
big boy,
first.
you first. And I was
I
like,
never get to. When we went skydiving, I had to go last, and I wanted to go first bungee jumping.
I was not trying to go first.
Caden
And
told me literally on the cable car on our way over across the valley, I don't want to do this. And I was like, what? I had no idea that you never wanted to do that.
no, I'm not. I had a great experience doing it, and it was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun, but I don't ever need to do that again. No,
I would do it multiple times.
no,
But
I'm
also,
good. I can check that off the list.
yeah,
Good with it.
aside from the bungee jumping, we did another really cool activity in New Zealand.
The glowworm caves.
The glowworm caves. So we did this like cave hiking experience. I don't really know what else to call it. We had to get suited up in wetsuits, helmets, water boots. We had one helmet light, and then we had these little floaties. And we went like 3-4 hours deep into a pitch black cave full of freezing cold
you like
water.
enter the cave through like a hole in the ground.
You have to like
basically,
jump through a hole.
It's like miles of cave.
And then they have you jumping off of like, you have to jump backwards off these waterfalls into your rafts. And then everyone turns their helmet lights off in a stream, and you float down and you look up, and it's just hundreds of like iridescent glowworms.
More than hundreds.
Thousands.
Yeah, thousands and thousands. Yeah.
And you do that for a while. There's even parts where like it gets really tight and you are floating and you're floating, and you have to like go on your back and use your hands to like track yourself through underneath like a large rock. So if you're claustrophobic, this is definitely not something you'd want to do. But
Yeah. If you're bigger, I had trouble getting through
you
some
just
of the,
get more
the
into
spaces.
the water. Yeah.
I don't know. There was one that they made me go through, like one little like
that was
hole
like
in
the
the
one
rock,
on the side.
and I was like,
I might not fit.
Yeah, I might be stuck here.
Yeah, but I just thought those were two like extremely cool. Those were like more on the adventurous side of things. Like obviously an elephant sanctuary is amazing, but it's like not so much like adrenaline adventure-y. These were very much like for the adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
Best coffee.
France.
Paris specifically. I don't know if all of France has the same coffee, but we were obsessed with the coffee in Paris. Okay, easiest place to travel.
Australia.
I put Australia or New Zealand. So I was looking at this as like for people who haven't ever been out of the country before and they want to travel somewhere new, what's going to be the easiest place to plan? And then like when you actually get there to travel. And I picked Australia because it's the most like America. Like everyone speaks English. The transportation is all very similar. The only difference is
that like the lanes are switched.
Yeah, you have to
like
drive
you're driving on the left.
Opposite side of the car on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah, that too. So like you think you're gonna get, she kept thinking she was getting the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're gonna drive?
No, absolutely
not.
not.
No,
not happening. And then even when you're walking, like everyone walks on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only different travel thing about Australia. And then obviously like currency, but the currency is not difficult to get a grip on. So Australia is definitely, if you're new to traveling, obviously it's far away from America, so you have to be down for a very long flight. But once you get there, it's very easy to get around, super easy to book hotels, rental cars, all of that stuff. Watch out for the speedometers. They're in the trees, like cameras in the trees, and you'll get tickets.
I got a ticket.
Even if there's no cop, and Caden got a ticket.
I've gotten a ticket in almost every country we visited.
That's
that
true.
was one of them.
All right, best waterfalls.
Iceland
for sure. Iceland has thousands of
the biggest ones.
Some of the most insane. I think there was one, it's like the most powerful waterfall, the tallest waterfall. There's a waterfall that you can walk behind, like do like a full 360 around the waterfall. Just insane things I never thought I'd see before.
Yeah.
Breathtaking. Where'd be your second place for waterfalls?
New Zealand.
Although we didn't really get the experience most people get.
What was the name of that place?
I don't remember.
Milford Sound.
Milford Sound. Wow, you remember that really quick. There's a place, Milford Sound in New Zealand, which is known for you go on like a boat tour.
Probably has like the craziest waterfalls ever. And of course,
it's entire mountains, huge mountains. And when it rains, it turns into thousands of waterfalls. Yeah. Not for us though.
Yeah, we go, I don't know what the statistic is, but it like literally rains like 90% of the time there. And
we got the 10%.
It didn't rain.
No, we had beautiful sunny skies.
Like it literally didn't rain. They were just like, we went on a little tour on the boat too, and they're like,
this never happens.
kind of surprising. It's actually not raining today.
So sunny out, so we didn't really get to see a whole lot of waterfalls there. We still got to see a few that are always flowing just from past rainy days, but we didn't get like the mountains coming to life like most people do. But I would say that they would be the second spot for waterfalls. Most likely to return to.
Australia.
I put Australia or Thailand.
Yeah, I would return to both.
I'd say Australia because it's so huge. We didn't even cover like even a fraction of it. Obviously, it's a continent and we didn't go to all the different places. So I'd love to go back to Australia, really do more of like the Whit Sundays. Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know.
I can't think of the name.
What is Whithaven?
Whit Sundays. I want to go like Outback. I want to go to the whole west
Outback.
side.
We can go to the Outback later.
Oh, sure. Go get a blooming onion.
Yes.
And then I chose Thailand because I loved it. So Australia because I feel like I didn't get to see enough. Thailand, I feel like we saw such a good amount. Obviously, there's plenty of islands we could still go to, but I'd go back to Thailand just for experience. I had such a great time there.
More tattoos.
And more tattoos. And more food. Lots of pad thai.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly run through best for solo travel, best for family travel, and best for honeymooners or couples.
Okay.
What do you have for all three?
Solo travel of Australia, family travel of New Zealand, and honeymoon I have Antigua.
Okay. For solo travel, I have New Zealand or Thailand because both of those places have so much activities that I feel like specifically Thailand, there's so many solo travelers, everybody going to party, everybody staying at hostels. Like it's a very welcomed country for people. There's a lot of tourists. So I feel like you'd find people and you could just go off and have a great time. Best for families, I put Iceland, but this is for people who have like 1-year-olds and younger. So if you want to travel with a baby, Iceland would be the best.
They leave their babies outside. That's stores, right?
Yeah, they do. In the cold, they'll put them in strollers and leave them outside. It's rated like the #1 safest country in the world, I'm pretty sure. And also you can just rent an RV, put all of your baby's crap in there, and then just drive around the entire country and have all of your stuff in one place. So it's not like Italy where you're hopping on this high-speed train, this bus, this flight. It's just easy and simple. And then if you have bigger kids, I said Australia or New Zealand for beaches and just more fun activities that they can participate in. And in Iceland, they would probably just get a little bit bored on the road.
Yeah, a lot of driving. And
then, honeymooners. I forgot. So then honeymoon, I would also say Antigua or Italy if it's more like couple, less honeymoon. Because Antigua is great for all-inclusive. Get yourself a villa, rot away on the beach.
Super relaxing.
Yeah. And then Italy for obviously like if you want to go to vineyards or go have wine and listen to live music, like stuff like that.
We had a very relaxing time on our honeymoon in Antigua, and then we came home.
Oh yeah.
For literally like
2 hours.
2 hours to sleep, and then flew to Arizona.
We were sitting in Antigua and we were like, this is great. We're drinking as much as we can. We're eating. We're doing literally nothing.
We usually like go on our trips.
This is the only trip we've ever done like that, where we are at an all-inclusive doing nothing. And about halfway through, we were like, well, we're still both off for like 4 days when we get back. And I was like, want to go somewhere else? And we were like, yeah, where have we been wanting to go? Arizona and Utah. So we literally right then booked a flight. So we landed back in Miami and then drove to Orlando and flew out of Orlando and went to Arizona and Utah and did a fully like hiking only trip every day. Hiked off all of the food and drinks that we had.
That was a good mix. Honestly, a beach and then the hiking.
Perfect combo. That's my dream honeymoon right there.
Best bang for your buck.
Thailand.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
The flights are going to be expensive, but then once you get there, you can have
everything's affordable.
Smoothies, coffees, alcohol,
the clothes, massages.
$10. I mean, massages
the
like $6.
And stuff, everything's super affordable.
You can do so much for such a little amount of money there that it's going to make you sad traveling other places
you can buy
again.
An elephant, $300.
I don't think that's.
I mean, where can you buy an elephant for $300?
Nowhere.
I talked to someone.
Yeah, definitely Thailand for best bang for your buck. Best landscaping.
Best landscaping?
Best landscape?
Like people's yards?
Scenery, landscaping. You know what this meant.
Best landscape, I have New Zealand.
I have Iceland. New Zealand was my second because New Zealand has just like beautiful rolling mountains, hills. It's like very fairy tale sound of music, like flowers, all the llamas. It is like breathtaking just to drive through that country. I chose Iceland because of the variety. It's known as like the land of fire and ice. So you drive on one side and you get glaciers, and then you go to the opposite side of the country and you've got a volcano and lava, and then somewhere in the middle there's geothermal activity, and then you've got hot springs, you've got waterfalls, then you've got the fields of the Icelandic
it's like
horses.
Going to like 10 different countries.
Exactly. So I felt like if you're somebody who doesn't travel often and you want to see a lot in one place, that's the place to go.
The only reason I didn't pick that one is because of the long drives where there's literally nothing.
Yeah, there's a reason that there's nothing.
Once you got to destination, it was like, oh yeah, it was amazing. But there was a lot of like nothingness too.
And a lot of the times when you would drive and there was nothingness, it's because they've had previous glaciers and volcanic activity that have erupted in that area. Nobody obviously builds things there because that's the area that if it was to erupt again, that would be involved. So it's just like old lava everywhere. It's interesting.
Best weather?
Best weather. I've got Antigua.
Best climate?
I did Antigua.
Yeah, it's tropical.
Yeah, it's very tropical. Tropical? It's very tropical. At first I was thinking Australia, but then I remembered we got caught in a flash flood when we were up in the Daintree rainforest.
I don't know if it gets cold too in the winter. Does it get cold there ever?
In Australia? I'm not sure. And then I didn't pick New Zealand. That was going to be my next option. But then I remembered we went on the coldest, windiest hike of our lives in New Zealand.
And we weren't even like the winter.
We just weren't expecting it to be cold, I think is what took us off guard. And then obviously Iceland cannot win best weather because it's Iceland. And it's very cold, very rainy. We got lucky. It only was super rainy, windy one day. And the rest of the days we had decent weather. But I wouldn't say it was a good weather.
No.
So Antigua for sure.
Favorite overall?
Favorite overall, this has me torn because I'm obviously obsessed with Thailand, the food, the people, the activities. I want to go back. But Iceland has such a special place in my heart. It's my number one recommended place when I talk to people and they're like, where should I go?
It's weird because it was like never a place we were ever trying to go.
That story is so weird. We were actually on the plane going to Ireland and I sat next to some random dude and we had a layover in Iceland. And this guy, he was so dad. He was like, you want my snacks, honey? And look at these pictures of my children. And just like, he was so funny. And he was raving and raving and raving about how much he loved Iceland. And then all of a sudden we were like, yeah, we'll go. And then we did, and now it's like...
Well, once you like start researching it, you're like, oh, this is actually pretty cool.
I don't know how it wasn't on our radar before because it really is I think I've got to go Iceland. It's the place I choose to recommend to everyone. And I just think we did it so cool. We did 10 days in a sleeper van and we went around the entire rim of the country and we stayed in campsites all along the way. We would like make ramen in the backseat of our van, pulled over on the side of the road looking at a waterfall, just like stuff that I never thought we would do. So for me, Iceland.
That was my runner up.
Thailand's your number one?
Yeah, Thailand's number one.
Thailand's my runner up. So
definitely had like the craziest experiences there.
yeah.
But Iceland, yeah, I think we just had like a really good trip too. Plus,
It's not
we
somewhere-
like, adventure and
Yeah.
backpacking
We
and
like that kind of
camping.
stuff.
So if you're not into that, that's like
You
all
won't
it
like
is.
it.
So
And also like no fashion involved. You bring like 3 outfits and big jackets and like
True.
that's what you're wearing every single day. There's just not a thought to it. And it's very intimate, I'd say. Like we didn't really communicate with hardly anybody else. Like at the campsites we did, but other than that, we didn't see anybody. So if you just want to get away from people and activities and everything like that, it's a great place to go.
Mhm.
I actually was at first going to do Iceland as the easiest place to travel because it's one massive road around the country. But then I remembered F roads. F roads are places
my
in
God.
Iceland that you cannot go in a regular car. You have to be in like 4-wheel drive.
Ideally, yeah, you'd want like a
Ooh.
4-wheel drive truck.
We'll have to
but-
tell that story another time. I
Yeah.
don't remember if we have or not about how we really just truly messed that up.
You know
So
how your
not an
boy
easy
is
place
just
to
an
drive.
amazing driver.
What?
I said
you
about how I'm
did.
an amazing driver.
You did really save us that time. But so yeah, for me, Iceland, for you, Thailand. I think those are fair number ones because I'm pretty torn between the two. All
Yeah.
right, let's finish it out with an overall ranking.
Okay. The number one, you have
Iceland.
I have Thailand. Yep.
2 for me is Thailand.
Iceland.
Number 3,
Africa.
New Zealand. Number 4,
Italy.
Africa.
Number 5, I have New Zealand.
I have Australia.
Okay. So you don't have Italy in your top 5.
No, Italy's my next one. Italy's number 6 for me.
I have Australia.
I loved Italy. I'd love to go back and do more. Italy was also one of our like first bigger trips, and maybe now that we're better at traveling, I'd like to revisit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have what for number 6?
Australia.
Australia. Number 7.
Ireland.
I have Ireland for number 7. Okay, number 8.
France.
Antigua. You put France in front of Antigua?
Yeah, Antigua. It's just an island though. We just did an all inclusive. Like it was
Yeah.
beautiful, but like there's like
You could go
a
other
bunch of
places
them.
and
Yeah,
get
there's
the
a
same
bunch of
vibe.
islands and do
Yeah.
it all inclusive.
I get that. I liked Paris. I'm not one of those like Paris is my favorite place in the world girlies. Like it was cool, but
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
rather
not
be
one of
on a
those
boat.
girlies either.
no, you're not.
No,
I just think I'd rather like be on a boat
That's
snorkeling
low
in
on my
Antigua.
list. Yeah, lower.
All right, what you got next?
Antigua,
I have Paris for number 9.
Mhm.
10.
Mexico.
I have Cuba.
I have Cuba for my last one.
You liked Mexico more than Cuba? We weren't in Cuba for long. I will give you that.
Cuba was cool where we're at, but like other than where we're at, I don't think we would like Cuba very much.
Yeah, we went to Havana, Cuba. I just
Yeah.
loved the old cars.
That was really cool. It was like you're going back in time.
Yeah, the drinks, the coffee. They had amazing coffee too. And just like, well, we went to the Tropicana show. That was really cool.
Mhm.
I obviously love Mexico. I'm a margarita girl. So, I got to love Mexico. But,
Mhm.
well, there you have
Hmm.
it for the After the Encode 2024 travel rankings.
Maybe next time we'll do like a worst of the worst.
Ugh.
Worst people, worst food,
Worst flight,
worst experiences.
worst place to travel overall. Maybe we'll do a worst of. Stay tuned. It is time. Time for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Why are you whispering? Oh,
ASMR.
every time Tori makes an announcement, she grabs the mic and it's just nothing but mic sounds.
It's for dramatic effect,
We have the
like so.
hardest time trying to edit out any mic sounds.
Anyways, guys, it's time. It's the moment you've all been waiting
Let me
for.
just first start by saying is like all of the the comments and the hate comments
No
and
one
the
comments.
hate mail from the PO box.
Nobody
and
sends us
literally
mail.
all of the phone calls from the family members. Like she's trying her very best to announce the 911. She's trying really hard. So if you guys could all take it easy on her. I know, not the best. Working on it.
I think you're the only one who feels that way.
But everyone just take it down a notch. Trust me, she feels terrible about
I'm
it.
done. I'm not going to say it anymore.
I just wanted to tee that up
No,
before we start. No, I feel good about this week.
You won't hear me do another 911 intro.
No, I feel very good about
No,
this
go
week.
ahead. You go.
No, I don't want any repercussions from
You're
anyone from
just
this.
looking out for me.
Yes.
That's the biggest lie I've ever
I'm
heard.
just looking out for you. I actually really enjoy when you say it.
If you say something negative about this one, this truly will be my last time.
Go ahead. No one wants that.
Okay, guys. I'm going to go low energy because apparently that's what Caden likes.
I love when you do 911. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, it's the time you've all been waiting for.
What?
I'm going to open my mouth and he's going to do it again.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, it's done. You said it. Let's go.
Oh, it's like that
Yeah,
then?
that's the intro.
You don't even want to try? You practiced 30 minutes in the mirror before we started this? And you're not even trying?
What? That was actually bad. My voice broke.
So why?
Because I'm nervous.
So when you go, what? What?
Because you're making me nervous.
Sorry, do you want to go to need to ride to the junior prom later? I'm sorry.
Will you be my date?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be supportive.
Yeah, I'm very supportive.
that was
911 what? Moving on. This one, I have a video to accompany this 911 what, courtesy of Reddit. Okay, guys. So if I can figure out how to do it, I will try to put the video on the screen.
If I figure out how to do it.
If Kaden can figure out how to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So the title for this one says, Crazy Teen Tries Using Homemade Flamethrower in Hospital Waiting Area. The Maryside police were called to the hospital just after 1 p.m. to reports of a 17-year-old boy who was behaving erratically. It was reported that the boy had used an aerosol can and lighter as a makeshift flamethrower to direct flames towards 2 men in the emergency department. A video widely shared on social media appeared to show the boy walking towards a man on his phone in the waiting room and directing flames towards him. The man ducked and ran for cover over the flames, removing his jacket in the process. The boy then appeared to walk towards another man using the aerosol can and lighter to ignite the flames for a second time. The flames were pointed towards the second man's face as he tried to duck to avoid them. Police said the teenager was swiftly restrained by family members and no serious injuries were caused. He was detained by security staff and assessed by the mental health nurses before receiving further treatment. The reason I bring this up is because when you watch this video, I'm going to show you and we're going to get commentary. This kid, the 17-year-old, so casually walks up to this man, looks at him and just goes, psh. And the man just kind of stares back and then kind of goes and moves and then starts to walk away. And as he's walking away, the kid's just like, psst. Now, mind you, this is a full waiting room. Nobody's moving. Everybody else in the waiting room is just looking. There's a nurse and the mom behind, and the mom's going to put her bag on the table as then she walks over to the man. So he finishes spraying this one guy who ducks and does run, then just casually walks up to the next guy, literally just walks up and looks at him and then goes psst, right into his face. And this guy's against the wall.
I'm surprised that he ever made it to the second guy.
I'm going to show you.
Let me see the video
and
so
then
I can see what you're talking
we'll
about.
get the commentary. This
is the smallest waiting room I've ever seen.
Wait for it.
Oh.
Then
I don't think anyone saw him do it the first time.
Do you see how casual he walks up to the next person? And then everyone in the waiting room is just kind of like, and then they get up and run after the second guy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew what was going on.
So obviously I'm like, oh, flamethrower in the ER. That's a cool story. But what really caught my attention was the dynamic of everything in this video.
No one got too excited about it.
And then even so, then it's the mom comes up and just grabs him and he just kind of puts his arms down. Like it's no big deal, as if you just walked up and flicked somebody. That's the way everybody reacted.
He's playing tag. Tag, you're
but it's fully a flamethrower in this guy's face.
Yeah.
But when he's flamethrowing the second guy against the wall, look at the people. They're still not moving until he's done. They literally just stand there as he's going, shh. And then once he's done, everyone starts moving. How crazy is that?
Dude.
And the nurse is standing there and she's just kind of I don't know what to do. And I don't blame her. What are you supposed to do? Some dude's casually, so calmly just flamethrowing at people.
What an odd waiting room too.
Isn't that so weird?
That is really weird.
I need to put this up on the screen for you guys to actually see, because what? And I did read that said that both of the guys who he flamed through, I don't know if that's the verb you use, were fine.
Got flamed.
Who got flamed. They're both fine. And neither of them pressed charges because the kid has mental instability. So
clearly.
Yeah. But I just could not believe the casual,
I wonder what would happen if you would
have
made it into the ER and started doing that.
Yeah.
Oxygen bottles and stuff.
Oh yeah. Could have been very bad. Mm-hmm. Don't bring flamethrowers to the ER. I hope this doesn't give anyone any ideas, but
we had a guy smoking with a nasal cannula on.
Always. I feel like that's...
Lit his face on fire.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You ran on him after his face was lit on fire?
Yeah.
How was he? Burnt? Yeah,
his nose hairs were singed.
Oh, isn't that criteria to intubate?
We were about to, yeah.
You didn't?
So we made the decision to do it. there's a lot to this call. I'm not gonna get too into it, but he was pretty stable for the most part. But yeah, that is like definitely criteria. But like had no respiratory issues. Basically, he was a trauma alert. The flight crew came, and we were literally like, drew up meds to
Intubate him.
and then they were like, did an assessment, and they're like, we'll hold off, we'll monitor him en route. I was like, okay, here's all the ketamine that I just drew up.
Perfect.
What a waste.
All right,
But,
what's your 911? What? Does it have to do with flamethrowers?
It doesn't have to do with flamethrowers. This is a story that I read on Reddit, not a story that I was involved in.
Naturally.
Just wasn't involved in it whatsoever.
Of course. Maybe tell it from a first
I'm
person.
going to tell it from a first person, but it was not me.
Just to like really add to the story.
Yeah. So I was I was the Reddit person.
Yeah, read it like it's him.
I was on my way to a call, and it was for a respiratory. No big deal. The station that I'm at, or this person's at, it's not in a great area. What? It's not my story. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Read it like it would be.
So it's just kind of run of the mill. We get to the house, and the notes kind of made it seem like it, might be legit, like might be a serious respiratory. Just me and my partner, though. We go, there's two people who bust out of the front door, and they're yelling at each other back and forth. And I'm trying to figure out, like, did one of these people call? Is the patient inside? Something serious going on here? So they're yelling at each other. The guy was like, yeah, he called 911. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, he didn't seem to be in any respiratory distress to me. So they're both yelling at each other. Then they literally throw up their fists. And we're like, what? Are these guys about to fight right now? I was like, you called 911? You're having respiratory issues? So they throw up fists. They start fighting. So we take like a few steps back.
World star.
Yeah, but not too far back.
Right.
We're just like, oh, let's see how this plays out. So when something like a dangerous scene's like that, you're supposed to, stage away. Like, obviously, we're not going to treat the patient. Not
while he's currently fist fighting somebody.
No. So we're supposed to stage, wait for it to be safe, whatever. We're a distance away.
Okay.
So they're on the ground now. Then the other one goes, hey, then pull your gun then. Then pull your gun. And we were like, oh, now it's getting really serious.
It's a good thing this isn't a personal story, because otherwise your wife and your mother watching would be very concerned. But it's a good thing you got this story off Reddit.
It's a Reddit story. It's something I read. But so then we're like, oh, this just got real. So then we go behind a car. So we're in the front yard. There's a few cars in the front yard. So now we're behind a car seeing what's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
And he reached into his pants, and then just nothing happened. They both just like stood up. One guy helped the other guy up. So our patient, I got his ass beat, basically.
He lost.
They got up, they both shook hands, and then the one guy walked away. And I was like, what just happened? So I walked over to him, because now I'm like, well, if you're not having respiratory issues, you just got beat up. Are you hurt?
Did they call you there for that? So that whenever they were done fighting, whoever lost could go with
maybe,
the fire
maybe
rescue?
I had it pre-planned. Like, well, you're going to need 911 then. And so I walked over and was like, hey, like, I guess the scene's safe now. Do you need to go? The
person who this story is about probably shouldn't have walked over to the people who were just threatening to pull a gun while you guys were waiting, while they were waiting for scene safety.
Yeah. Well, they didn't see any gun. I don't think he had a gun. But he seemed to have chilled out by then. And he was like, no, I don't have to go to the hospital. I was like, no, I'd really like to take you. I'm like, because I don't know how to explain this. So I don't take you to the hospital. Like, let's just go get checked out. Like, I'm not going to be able to get a refusal from a guy who had respiratory issues and then just got in a fight and got beat up. Like, and he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, great. Sign here. So he didn't even go. He didn't even go to the hospital. We left.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I was like, what was all of this?
Maybe they just wanted to give those people a show.
I don't know what happened, but
that's so weird.
I don't like getting refusals, but I certainly did not like getting that refusal.
No, yeah,
I was
that's
like,
not
made
a good
sure
one.
my report was so thorough.
They made sure their report was so thorough.
I'm sure that their report was very thorough.
You have a really good memory to be able to like tell this story.
The Reddit story was very
very detailed.
Very detailed. Yeah, I felt like I was there. Shout out to those guys.
Might be time for you to get a new job. We should reevaluate.
What other job do you think I would be good at, if not this?
Like a personal trainer or like acting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you could be an actor or a personal trainer in a movie.
Ooh, I can just act as a personal trainer.
Yeah, fraud.
Yeah, I can just impersonate one.
Perfect.
Okay.
No certs or anything. No, I think you'd be an actor.
Well,
I think you'd be in movies like comedies, I think
you know
would
what
be
I
the
feel
best
like would
for
be
you.
really hard is to be in like a horror film. Like, I don't think I could do scared very well.
Try.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Okay, first.
Whoa.
First, that is disgust. That is not.
I'm sorry. What was it?
fear.
Did you say disgust or did you say scared?
Scared.
Oh, okay.
Scared.
Okay. Please. Please, sir.
Huh.
Please, sir, don't hurt me.
First, I'm not a sir. And two, why are you talking like a little girl all of a sudden?
Because the role
No,
is for a
give
little
me-
girl.
Actually, audition right now for a horror film.
Okay.
You're scared guy number 1.
Scary guy number 1.
Yeah.
He always lives.
No, he dies. Go ahead.
I die?
Yeah, you are like actively being chased and then stabbed. That's the scene.
Okay.
Go.
Ah! Got me. I think I could do comedy. Like I said, I don't think I could do horror. I could do disgust.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna actually cry. That
feel
was
like-
so bad.
I feel like disgust was really good.
No, that's just your natural reaction
Like,
to me.
You told me to run and then get stabbed.
Yeah, you're running away.
Okay.
You want me to try it?
Sure.
Okay, I gotta face this
Yeah,
way.
you're playing the dumb blonde who always gets killed first.
I'm not gonna make it. Ugh. Scene. What did you think of that?
You definitely could be in like one of the scary movies, like Scary Movie 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Well, welcome to our acting class, guys.
Now that got out of hand.
That might not make it in the podcast.
Ugh.
No, see,
Oh God.
why are you so good at disgust?
I don't know.
Just coming natural to you?
No.
What else can I make you do? Act like you're in love with me. No, I'm gonna have a face of disgust. What was that?
Act like I'm in love with you.
Yeah, act like you're in love with me.
I'm not that good of an actor. I'm just kidding.
Cue the wedding video. You guys want to see him cry like a little baby?
That was acting. Bang bong.
Well, guys, this will be the last ever After the Encode episode.
Yeah.
I
We're
hope
gonna
you enjoyed
do
the podcast,
best place
guys.
to travel when you're divorced. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.